Hey guys, so since I'm in too much pain to fall back asleep, I decided to record a video. Um, Someone asked me yesterday to elaborate on what I meant by me having a chronic illness, and it's not the first time I've gotten asked that in the YouTube comment section. So I figured, why not just make a video explaining so that I don't have to respond in paragraphs and answer people's questions, and all the answers will be right here in this video. Well, most of them, because I'm sure I'm going to forget some. So I wrote down like 5 general questions that people usually ask me when I first meet them and I tell them that I'm sick. So yeah, I'm going to cover those, and then I'll cover, I don't know, just some random stuff off the top of my head. Alright, I'm trying to, ever have that feeling where a yawn just keeps wanting to come up, but it won't come up? Anyway. Okay. So yes, I have a chronic illness. I have an invisible illness, which means I appear healthy, but I'm not. And that's a whole different. Sometimes I wish I didn't have an invisible illness, that I had something visible, like a crutch or I don't know, something that would show people, yes, I'm sick. Anyway, okay, I have postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, or POTS for short. No, it's not the pot that you smoke. No, it's not the kind of pot that you cook in. It's just an abbreviation or an acronym for the condition, because it's such a long name. What is it? Okay. Your autonomic nervous system, I believe it's called, it controls every part of your body that you don't have conscious control over. Like, you can move your arm or your leg, you decide to do that, but there are functions in your body that you don't think about. They just happen. Like your digestion, your blood flow, your heart rate, your blood pressure, your kidney functions, all of that stuff. Basically, what I have affects all of that. All of that. So, okay, the main thing is I can't stand up or sit up for too long on really bad days. This yawn just won't stop it. Yawn, stop it. If I stand up or if I sit up for too long, I'll feel faint. I'll get really dizzy, lightheaded, and I'll feel like I'm about to pass out. They call it pre-syncope. I've never actually fully passed out, but I've come close a handful of times. Like the room got black, or it was getting black, and then I came out of it. But that feeling that you're about to pass out is like one of the scariest feelings in the world. And for some reason, I've been frustrated. Like, can you just pass out already? Like, I don't want to keep feeling like I'm about to pass out. Like, just get it over with. Let me just. Okay. Anyway, but there are people with POTS that do pass out, and some pass out very frequently. And I am grateful that I'm not like that. Everyone's case of POTS is different. So just because your friend Brenda might have it doesn't mean she's going to experience the same symptoms I do in the same way, vice versa. So yeah, it affects my blood pressure. What's next? Oh, I wrote down symptoms. I get migraines, sensitivity to light and sound. Like, it's been so bad sometimes I can't even look at my phone. Frequent urination is a huge one for me. Um, at my worst, I was peeing 50 times a day. Right now, it's not that frequently, thank goodness. I'd say it's still roughly around 25 times a day. I'm not really sure because I don't keep track of it anymore. Um, my body just doesn't want to retain fluid. So I have to constantly drink. My kidneys just won't shut off. I have to constantly drink water to keep myself hydrated, but most of the time it feels like I'm just playing catch up all the time because as soon as I drink, it just goes right through me. Um, and I take salt tablets to help me retain fluid. Basically, everything that they tell like healthy people to do, like don't eat too much salt. You don't want your blood pressure to go too high. I have to do the opposite. So I have to eat extra salt on my food, and I have to take salt tablets. And I take 4 salt tablets a day, and each tablet is 1,000 milligrams or 1 gram. What other symptoms? I have digestive symptoms, which is part of the reason why I'm in pain right now. Nausea, gas, bloating. What else do I have? Muscle pain. I don't really know where the muscle pain is. Like, I can't categorize it. I say muscle pain, but I mean body pain. I've tried like different medicines, like Aleve, ibuprofen, even some stronger stuff, and it doesn't make the pain go away. So I don't know if it's nerve pain or something else, but I get pain all over. What else? Did I say migraines already? I think I did. Brain fog is another one. And that is when I feel like I'm in some kind of haze or in a cloud or something, and I just can't think straight. So sometimes sometimes in videos you'll see me like stammer over some words, or it'll take me a little longer to get something out because I'm trying to make sure it comes out right. And that can be frustrating, especially when I'm trying to concentrate on something. If I'm reading something and I really have to take it in, a lot of times I don't have enough mental energy to do more than 10-15 minutes of reading, and then I need to take a break because it's just too much. Because if I keep reading, it's not gonna process. I'm not gonna process it. To give you an example of brain fog, I went to the grocery store with my mom a couple years ago. And we were in the checkout line, and we bought a bunch of cans of cat food because it was on sale, and at the time we had like 2 or 3 cats. I don't remember if Midnight had died at that time yet, but anyway, we were putting these cans of cat food on the conveyor belt at ShopRite, and so she asked me to count how many of each flavor we had. Or no, I don't even think it was a flavor. I think she just asked me to count the cans. So I look at the conveyor belt and I'm like, okay, 1, 2, 3. Let me start over. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me start over. And I kept doing that. Finally, I got so frustrated. I turned over to my mom, and I just I'm trying not to get emotional. And my mom just goes, "It's okay. I got it. Don't worry about it." Because she knew that I was having a bad episode and that I was going to tank or crash. My mom and I call it crashing. Basically, if I'm appearing functional and then all of a sudden my symptoms just hit me out of seemingly nowhere, and I have to either lie down or just get away from any noise or light or anything like that. Okay, what other symptoms? I know there's more, and I've probably forgotten a bunch of them. I get hot flashes at night. Um, yeah. But the worst part of it, like the symptoms, I've learned how to deal with them. Um, the worst part of it is the unpredictability. Like I said earlier, some days, I think I said earlier, some days I'm functional, functional. Like a good day for me isn't like a normal good day for a healthy person. A good day for me means I got some chores done. I did a little bit of studying and I sat outside on the porch. Or I did my physical therapy and I showered. Or I washed my hair and yay! It was such a great day. Whereas like a miracle day for me was I actually had one of those a couple weeks ago. I was able to go to church in the morning, go to a friend's house afterwards, and stay there until 8 or 9. And that was a miracle day for me. And I paid for it severely the next day. Usually when I go out, when I have to go out, like to a doctor's appointment, or if I go to church, the next day I'm in a lot of pain and I'm very fatigued. Oh, that's another symptom, fatigue. It's like I can sleep as much as I want to, but I'm always tired. And then sometimes I can't fall asleep at all. Yay. Okay. Is there a cure? No. Next question. No, I'm just kidding. No, there's no cure for it. There's just ways to manage it. There's medicines that I take. I take a medicine to elevate my blood pressure. I take a medicine to slow my heart rate down. Like I said, I take the salt tablets. A bunch of other homeopathic medicines I take, and I've started going to therapy. Not physical therapy, but to see a therapist for my mental health issues because they're related to my physical issues. I've come to find out. A lot of people with POTS, they also have generalized anxiety disorder, which I have. And I have noticed that when I'm more anxious, my symptoms are worse. Okay, so there's no cure, but 80% of people who get it, they grow out of it in their late 20s, early 30s. So I'll be 25 in August. And I got sick. Well, I got a diagnosis when I was 18. So I'm about halfway there. I mean, I'm hoping I'm going to come out of it earlier. I'm not trying to be being sick until I'm 30, 31, 32. How did I get it? First of all, it's not contagious. Well, POTS isn't contagious. But there are 3 ways you can get it. The first one is how I got it. I got sick with a virus called mono. You've heard of mononucleosis. Am I saying it right? Mono? The kissing disease? Look, I'm sorry. I'm tired. I'm not feeling well. So I'm just trying to get this video done. Okay. So you can get it from getting that virus. The second way is pregnancy. Women who have been pregnant and after they've given birth, they've developed POTS for some reason. I don't know what goes into that. And the third cause is like a traumatic accident, like a car accident or something. So I got mine with the virus. I don't know how I got it. I didn't kiss anybody. I don't share food or drinks with people, so I don't know. But I heard that people can carry it, but they don't have the symptoms. And they can pass it to other people who will get sick like I did. I missed like not 3. I think it was longer than that. I almost want to say a couple months from school with the mono. And then little do we know, POTS was beginning. Like the symptoms that I was having, that was no longer mono. Now we were switching into POTS. Um, yeah. And I can go into the story about how I got diagnosed. That's a whole nother story, and I don't want to put that in this video. Because it was a lot for us to figure out what was going on, because I went from being a normal, functioning person to being very, very sick in a very short period of time. Like, I had my whole life planned out. I graduated in 2012. I got a full ride scholarship. I was going to become a sign language interpreter, get my bachelor's degree, but I got sick the summer after graduation. Yeah, and then my whole life changed, and I'm thankful for POTS. That'll be another video if anybody cares enough about that. Okay, so I said how did I get it? Okay, I addressed that. How long have I had it? I kind of addressed that. I got sick July of 2012, and now we're in 2019. Now I will say there has been, I'm not like how I was when I was first diagnosed. Like before we knew what was going on and I was on any medication, I could barely walk. There was a time where I was so weak that I could barely lift a fork up to my mouth to eat, and my mom literally had to feed me. That was not fun. So yeah, I'm grateful for when I do have good days. It's just the unpredictability of it. Like I don't have much of a social life, because if I make plans, I don't know how I'm gonna feel. I don't know how I'm gonna feel from day to day. I don't even know how I'm gonna feel from hour to hour. Like for example, I'm looking at this light, so I can't exactly see the time. It's like after 10. I have an appointment with the shrink at 4 o'clock. I don't know how I'm gonna feel. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it there. So it's kind of hard explaining that to people. Like, yeah, I want to go, but I won't know until the day of. So I just imagine that, or I won't even know until the hour of, really, because things just, so many things affects it, and there are things I can do to manage it, but most of the time I just do everything I'm supposed to do, and sometimes my body just goes, screw you, Keena, I'm gonna do what I want to do. So I've learned to listen to my body and not push myself beyond my limits, but push when I need to, because it's very hard finding that balance of when to push and when not to push. Alright, I guess that pretty much explains the gist of it. I hope that covered it. If this didn't help much at all, you could always Google it. Just type in POTS syndrome, because if you just type POTS, you're not going to get the results. You have to type in POTS syndrome. Even though the S in POTS stands for syndrome, you still got to type the word syndrome. Yeah. I mean, I guess there are more personal questions people could ask me, like, do you have a job? No. Because if there are days that I can't even get out of bed, or if I can't read something for more than 10 to 15 minutes, no. Yes, I am considered disabled. I don't want to put all my business out there, but the goal is, and I'm working on it every day to get better so that I can get a job. I just think it's going to be weird how whenever I do come out of POTS, my first job is going to be like in my late 20s, early 30s. It's going to be so weird, Because I applied to jobs all throughout when I was in high school. Didn't get any. I mean, I went to a couple of interviews. The closest I've ever gotten to getting a job was when I was a senior in high school. It was for Walmart. And the guy was like, well, can you work from, when did he say, 10 at night to 7 in the morning? And I was like, I can't do that because I have school. I need sleep. um, so yeah. But I'm just taking it one day at a time. Um, don't feel bad for me. Please don't. I'm actually very fortunate. I'm great. I'm thankful that I have this and that it's not terminal. That there is a high chance of me growing out of it. That this won't be my life forever. Um, so yeah, I think my pain is starting to ease. So I'm gonna try to go back to sleep. I don't know if that's gonna work out. There it is. Beyond. Perfect way to end this video. Oh, and let me explain. That's my illness is why I don't pump out as many singing videos as I'd like to, because singing takes a lot of energy out of me. And since I'm dehydrated most of the time, my voice can crack while I'm singing, and I hate that. And I get more anxious when I do singing videos. So when I go and I start recording a singing video, I start singing, I get really anxious, my mouth gets dry, and then I start peeing every 10 minutes, so I have to stop. If I screw up a take, I gotta stop, go pee, come back. Now I'm even more dehydrated, and my brain fog is acting up even more. So I'll post the singing videos when I can, and yeah. So I'm sorry to those who subscribe primarily for the singing videos. Um, yeah. Oh, and I get chest tightness, so that makes it hard to sing too. Um, but I'm not gonna stop posting singing videos. They just won't be as frequent as talking videos. Um, yeah. Alright, so I think that explains it. I think that puts it all. That's it in a nutshell. Hope you guys have a beautiful day. And, yeah. See me in my next video. And, never know how to end these. I'm just gonna say